going on, Jerome's? So a couple years ago, the NFLPA started putting out report cards on the team. Now, it's usually nothing to do with the on-field product, but it goes into the intangible stuff of what it takes to be an NFL player and put together an NFL team. How they treat their family, the facilities, the dietitians, etc. And it came out that Cardinals players a couple years ago had to pay for their dinners, which is kind of funny, man. $10 for that chicken wrap. Woo! Love it, man. But head coach, ownership, all this stuff. I love that the players have a voice in this, and it's kind of awesome that the Vikings have done very well in the voting. Pelissero, for the second straight year, the Dolphins came in at number 1 on the NFL Players Association's report card based on player votes in many categories. The Vikings, who were number 1 in 2023, once again came in second. We never win anything. Biggest jump of the Commanders went from 32 to 11. That's a Magic Johnson effect, man. I love it. So the Vikings finished first, second, and second. That's not bad. And this does go a long way because players talk like what's a good team, what's not, how do they treat you, how do they treat your family. All these you could say like soft things or soft skills, intangibles, like they add up at the end of the day. Now, in free agency, obviously money talks, and then you look into things like weather, quality of schools, state taxes, all that stuff. But this doesn't hurt when trying to attract free agents, because if things are close, I do think that ties do go to the teams that grade out better in these report cards and things of that nature. So diving in. So the Vikings did well, and NFLPA, 1,695 players provided information on this. So this is a pretty good, sizable pool that they're getting these grades from. So the Vikings ended up at numero 2. Sort of is what it is. I want to see who ends up last. So treatment of families, Vikings are to A+, which is fantastic. Up there, yeah, the only team with the A+. And it does seem like the Vikings, in terms of getting tickets, in terms of it being a family-friendly environment, because you see all the time on social media, the players have their family, their kids around at the facility, at the games. I think that the team is very family forward. Right, and which is good to see. Food dining area, Vikings end up with an A-. Here's what's interesting. The only grade that the Vikings don't have an A+, A-, or an A is nutritionist, dietitian. So they got a B+. The nutritionist, dietitian, just like, come on, guys, come on. Locker room, Vikings A+. If you see in the Vikings locker room, like it is like tier 1. Like it's roomy, it's got all the amenities, and it's really awesome, man. Training room, Vikings at A-. Actually, let's just leave this up here. Training staff, Vikings A. Weight room A-. Strength coach A. The A- may only come in because it's basically like a big garage. It's a huge area with garage doors. Maybe that gets a little bit chilly in the winter. Don't know. So stuff like that. Weight room A-. Strength coach is A, even though the Vikings do have a new strength and conditioning coach is coming in. Team travel A, that's at Delta right there. Head coach A+, woo, love to see that. Ownership A+. I don't know why don't they list GM? I feel like Kwesi will be graded pretty high too. But in terms of team travel, Dolphins are at A+. Here's what's interesting. So Stephen Ross, yes, he of the Brian Flores brouhaha, was graded out at A+. How much did he pay? How much did he pay the players to get an A+ on this? Because that's kind of ridiculous. But for ownership, all right, so Vikings, Falcons with Home Depot guy, as well as the Vikings, Vikings, Falcons, Dolphins getting A+ in those regards. Broncos, A, Walmart. Chargers, A, which is interesting because Spanos is Texans, McNair's A. Raiders with Davis, A. Magic Johnson and the Commies, A. Ravens, blah, blah, blah. But, of course, it's even better. Like, who gets an F? The Jets. Poor Woody Johnson, man. Then you got the Cardinals and the Bidwells, D-. It's probably because they have to pay for their own dinners. So is that weight room? Yeah, weight room, they got an F, which is hilarious. How can you be a professional sports team and your weight room is an F? Same thing with the Patriots. Well, that's kind of interesting. The Panthers and Tepper are D- for ownership. Glazers, D+. The Glazers still own Manchester United. Here's what's interesting too. So the Chiefs, C-, and the Hunt family, the Hunts don't even live in the Kansas City area. They live in Dallas, right? So they basically take all the proceeds back to Texas. And even though the Chiefs have made that run of Super Bowls, facilities, not good. Everything else across the board, usually not good. All right, so except for Andy Reid. All right, let's look at the Chiefs. All right, so the Chiefs, A+, C- in terms of ownership, B, team travel, B, strength coach, C+ when it comes to the weight room. How can you be the multi-time world champions and have a bad weight room? Same thing with training room, training staff. Yikes. And then also the Chiefs, D- in the locker room. If you look at the Chiefs locker room at Arrowhead and even at the team facilities, it's dated. And that's just the ownership not reinvesting in the team, which you would think if you've won 3 Super Bowls in recent memory that you would have a lot of revenue coming in. Treatment of families, B-. I don't know. I feel like Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes, like they get treated pretty well, but who knows? Who has the worst treatment of families? The Bengals. How did the Bengals get an F-? All right, so the Bengals, notoriously cheap franchise. How do you get an F-? Is that the only F-? No, there's multiple F-, but the only one here. Jaguars F, but it's Duval. Yeah. Let's see, food dining area. Yeah, Bengals F. All they do is serve that spaghetti with the chili on it. New Orleans. New Orleans is one of the greatest food cities in the world. How is the food dining area D-? Huh? You go get yourself a fried oyster po' boy. Come on. Or some crawfish etouffee. Come on. Or some gumbo with that roux is darker than my soul. I don't know, man. Nutritious dietitian. They fight the good fight. But Cardinals and the Browns, F- for the locker room. Trading room, D-. Weight room. Do you know where the weight room is? Again, the Patriots, that one's interesting. That one's kind of interesting. And of course, the Cardinals just grade up poorly all the way across, but it's kind of interesting. Plus, going through how grading scale goes and the weight of the scale. So 50% is ownership, 10% head coach, lots of 9% here. Then also 6% for treatment of families and nutrition. Hey, how is families and dietitian? How are they both 6%? How come they can't just be evenly distributed like all the other 9%? But I don't know. But either way, like I said, if a player. So say that a player gets, let's go back here. All right, so say that a player gets a $15 million offer from the Bengals and a $10 million offer from the Vikings. Like that's not going to move the needle. They're going to sign with the Bengals. But say that the offers are relatively equal between the Bengals and the Vikings, or Team X or Team whatever that grades out poorly on this, and the Vikings. Advantage Vikings. And I love that the Vikings do have great ownership, where they invest in the team. Say what you will about the Wilfs, but U.S. Bank Stadium, they paid a significant portion of that, a lot more than what other NFL owners pay on their own stadiums. And then, of course, TCO was a world-class facility, and the Vikings, there aren't a lot of corners cut. The players are taken care of. It's a great locker room. They have a great training staff. They have a great weight room. They have a great, nutrition, food cafeteria area, and they take care of the families, which the treatment of the families, I feel like, is such it's not hard, and it doesn't cost a ton, but in terms of goodwill, it's invaluable, right? So I don't know how teams F that up so bad. But what's great about the Wilfs, they pay people and they let them do their jobs. That's what Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi have done, and I'm sure that permeates throughout the organization. That's why the Vikings, world-class organization. Now, can we be world-class on the field? All right? Or is that a spot where maybe you should just have bad ownership and bad facilities and you still win, like the Chiefs? Honestly, if the Chiefs didn't have Mahomes and Andy Reid, they'd be done. They'd be an XFL team with Chris Jones and Travis Kelce. I don't know, man. But anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings, number 2, silver medal, again, in the NFLPA grading report card. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. To do. Skull production value.